it is time for the mid-year tag. So, let's get into it immediately. Yeah. Question number 1. The best book that you've read so far in 2026. The best book that I have read this year in 2026 is... Can't get it out of the pile next to me. Was Be Right Back by Bill Wood. Whoops, you can't really see the bunny. She's important, okay? I want her to be in the video. So the best book that I read was Be Right Back by Bill Wood. This is part of his trilogy, like YA trilogy, of like Buffy the Vampire meets Scooby-Doo type thing. Obviously, I had never watched Buffy, but that's what he pitched it as. And it's also kind of Scream, so it's really good. But yeah, some kids are investigating some events in their town, and in the second book, it takes place around Halloween. So, like, someone is doing things in their town based on something that happened the previous year. And yeah, those 4 kids, they decide to investigate the situation, and it's really, really good. I love the characters. I love that we get to know a little more about some of the characters that are not that we don't know much about, because one of the characters is new in town and there's certain things from our past that we don't really know about, but we get to know about it in this one. And yeah, it's really, really, really good. Definitely the best one. So the best sequel that I've read in 2026. So for the best sequel, I have to go with Ben Archer and the Alien Skill by Ray Knightley. And this is her second book in her Ben Archer and the Alien Skill series. And book 2 is called The Alien Skill. So, yeah, it's really good. And it's more like action-packed than the first one. And like the first one took me like a month to read, but the second one I read in like a week, and it was just so good that I couldn't put it down. And honestly, like I want to immediately buy the others, but I'm kind of in like a book buying ban right now, so but yeah, I really wanted the others. So yeah, it's really, really good. And also there's a dog and situation happening with the dog at one point. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to know. But yeah, it was amazing, and I love everything aliens and stuff. So good. It was really, really good. Also, I cannot give much details because obviously it's the second book and it has too much spoilers. But there was a crow at one point, and I really liked the fact that we had a scene with this crow. It was really cool. But yeah, definitely best sequel that I've read this year. Okay. Question number 3. New releases that I haven't read yet, but I want to. They're not really new releases, but I don't really have any new releases that I want to read. I mostly just read whatever I want, whenever I want. But yeah, I don't really have any new releases. But I do want to read the other books in the series, so it's like, not quite a new release, but... Okay, so I think I skipped a few questions. I'm just gonna go back to those questions first. But yeah. So, the worst book that I have read this year. Honestly, I must say that the worst book that I've read was this. I'm gonna find it on my tablet because I do not own the book. Know how to write a name of the character because it's the title. Aha. Okay. My least favorite book that I read this year. I actually DNF'd it. It was Hannah Karenina. by Leo Tolstoy. Yes, by Leo Tolstoy. I hated that book. I couldn't get into it. Too many characters, too many. Usually I don't mind, but I just got very confused with the characters and everything. So I DNF'd it. It was definitely not the best book. Okay. The worst sequel that I have read this year. In the worst sequels that I read this year, it's a reread, and I have forgotten how intense it was on a certain subject. It was written back in what, 1930s or something. I don't really know. I'll check because it's just hey, she's biting my jeans. Okay. Apparently it was written in 1983, but it feels older. Or maybe it is actually older. Like, yeah. But anyway, the book was Robots of Dawn by Isaac Asimov. I'm currently rereading it, as audiobook, but there's a lot of sexual like references to in this one, and this is part of his Elijah Bailey and R. Daniel Oliva's series. I like Isaac Asimov's style, but this book is weird. Like, in book 2, you meet this woman, and she did something, and then she left to another planet because it's in a future where humanity are either on other planets or is staying in bubbles on Earth. And something happens with that woman, and then she ends up going to another planet. But the third book is basically you follow this detective as Elijah Bailey, who is the main character from book 1, 2, and 3. And he goes to his planet where he re-encounters this woman that he had met in the second book, and he has to investigate the death of a robot. And some robots in this are what you see in, well, general culture where they just look like a robot. But others look really human. And there's a bunch of like scenes referenced the fact that the woman, she had a relationship with that robot in question. And then it's like, oh, is it bad because he was a robot or whatever, and that robot died. So like, well, died. I mean, he wasn't alive, but anyway, they're like trying to like figure out who killed this robot, but no one did, obviously. But there was a lot of like weird sexual things because it's like, oh, she had moments with this robot, and then was she the one who did it because the robot got like his mind got destroyed because of the situation, or but like it was just so weird. Like I don't care about all of this. In one chapter, the number of times they've been talking about this for, it was very annoying. Also, sometimes the character of Elijah Bailey can be stuck on like one subject for an entire chapter, and it gets very annoying. And in that one book, he's obsessed with that like one specific thing, and it's like, we get it, okay? Get over it. So yeah, it's definitely the worst one in that series. I do love the series though, but except for that one, it's weird. I forgot how weird it was. Okay, just gonna have to do my password on tablet with questions because it just died. Well, it didn't die, it just closed. Okay. New releases that I haven't read yet, but I want to. There isn't much new releases that I want to read. Most of the ones I want to read are actually in the second part of the year, so I will talk about that a little bit later. The most anticipated release for the second half of the year. So I really, really want to read One Last Scare. So One Last Scare, which is the third book in Bill Wood's trilogy. And yeah, I really want to read this one. I also really want to read the Stephanie Plum series, the one that came out, and the last one that will come out soon. I'm trying to find it. So I had to pause the video for like 20 minutes because my mom was in the basement talking and getting meat and stuff, so she was like saying stuff. So I decided to go get a piece of cheese. How do I do this? Okay. So, another book that I'm really anticipating for is this book here. Just gotta put cheese. It is Split Second by Janet Ivanovich in her Stephanie Plum series, and this is her 32nd book in the series. And it's supposed to come out on November 10th, 2026. And I'm so excited because the way that 31 ended, I finally got what I wanted. So I'm very curious to see if the main character will be dumb, as she is, or things will turn out great. Anyway, so I'm excited for this one. And another book that I'm really excited for, I think it's coming this year, it is Strange Lights by Mira Gonzalez, yes. And this is expected on September 8th, 2026. And it's also published by Easy Cat Press. So the same people who brought us, oh, it's over there, of Monsters in Mainframe. And he's also a fellow YouTuber, so this is really cool. And also this book sounds like so good because it's basically like parenting is never easy, but it's a hell of a lot harder when your toddler is a chupacabra. And like it just sounds like very interesting with like UFOs and stuff. So I definitely want to read this. Also I kind of like the legend of the chupacabra. Like we don't really know what that is, and it's really cool. So yeah, Strange Lights by Mira Gonzalez. It sounds so good. Okay. Biggest surprise of the year. Honestly, one of the biggest surprises this year. Because I was starting to get like sort of a little bored on that series. Not necessarily like that I wasn't enjoying them, but it's getting long and it's just like sometimes a little more confusing because I'm listening to the audiobooks. So it's just like, yeah, confusing. And that is the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. But one book that surprised me how good it was the last book. So book 8, Parade of Horribles. I love that one. Honestly, I really enjoyed that one. It had like race vibes, and I just love races. Like I love movies with like races and stuff. So it was really good. I did enjoy that one a lot. I liked Princess Donut, her reaction on something that happened. it was really good. I really liked the race element. Also, I really liked Jamal the shark. He's hilarious in that book. Um, so yeah, definitely one that got surprised me. This one. Um, New favorite author or debut author or new to you. So a while back, I think it's 2023, uh, around like Super Bowl area, uh, well, Super Bowl time, I seen this trailer for this show, and um, I was like, hey, that looks pretty good, and it's also main character is also the guy that plays in the TV show Smallville, so well, plays Green Arrow in Smallville, and I thought that is pretty cool. Like, I want to watch the show, and then I found out that the show was based on a book series that honestly like is different. But I really enjoyed it. So the TV show's called Tracker, but the books series is just like the Culture Shaw series. So it's really good, and it's by Jeffrey Deaver. And the first book that I read in that series um, was called The Never Game, which looks like this, and it had like some stuff happened regarding a hacker and stuff in Silicon Valley. So in Silicon Valley in California. Um I really liked also some insight that the character has. Like he will explain things that to me, the reader, feels like it's really cool, and I love that. Like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but there was something in the book that I really, really loved regarding a place and something that he said about like that area in California, and I just really loved that. And yeah, it was cool. I loved like the backstory, the character, and it's yeah, it's definitely different from the show. Um, because for example, uh, Teddy and I forgot their name. Anyway, um, in the show, there there's two women as a couple, um, but in the book, it's actually a man and a woman. And honestly, I prefer the personalities in the show. They're more lively, while in the book they're just more like muted. I don't know, but it was still really, really good. I love this book, like surprisingly. I really loved it. You see me scratch my nose because bunny fur and it's just very itchy. Yeah. Okay, next question. Newest fictional crush. Well, there was this character from a book that I had read years ago, and I decided to reread the book, and I have forgotten how much I love that guy. So, I really, really like the character of Paul Markov in A Million Worlds with You by Claudia Gray. And yeah, he's Russian. And I kind of like the Russians in books because they're always like really cool and always have like very interesting backstories. But yeah, definitely Paul Markov from this. He's really cool. The normal version, not because this is like with like multiverse basically. But I really like the normal Paul, not the other versions. Or there might be some versions I don't mind, but yeah, definitely not the one where he's in the army, not army, but like in the I forgot, like royalty guard or whatever. Royal Guard. I do not like that version, but I do like the normal Paul, which is like I like that he's like simple And yeah, I like that character. Definitely a newest crush. Sorry about that. I knocked it out with my tablet. Uh, Sorry, I was question to ask. All right. A book that made me cry. I mean, I don't cry that much when I read books, but this one made me cry because I got attached to the characters, and yeah, I really got attached to the characters. And it was this A Dangerous Path. So, book 5 in the Warrior Cats series by Aaron Hunter. This is the book where one of the characters dies, and like that's one of the only characters that I remember their names from when I read the first books in the Warrior Cat series when I was a kid. And I really like that character, and I'm kind of sad that this character has died. And yeah, got really sad about that one character. Like I said, I got attached. And I don't want to say too much because, like, it's still a popular series, and if someone finds this video and they know a spoiler, I'll be fine. Anyway, okay. A book that makes me happy. A book that makes me happy that I've reread a few times over the years will always be a book that makes me happy. But I reread it this year, and it's Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I mean, one of my favorite bands is mentioned, my favorite movies are mentioned, my favorite video games are mentioned, so I really, really like this book. And I reread it recently, so it was really good. Also, yeah. But also, like, if you want to know a book that I really, really like that makes me happy, is this The Shadow Glass by Josh Winning. This book makes me very, very happy. I love this book. Like, isn't it obvious that I love it? I mean, the half title is gone. Also, it is a. I'm trying to find the page. It's a signed copy, which my friend got this for me. My friend Avery got it for me, and it's just so cool. So yeah, that is another book that makes me very, very happy. Okay. She's getting annoyed. I think she farted. Oh, okay, yeah, she farted. Ugh. Okay, she stinks. Alright. The most beautiful book you've bought or received this year. I don't really care about the beauty of my books. But definitely this one. It's so pretty. The sprayed edges and everything. Definitely one of the prettiest books that I bought this year. Yeah. Love this book. It's so pretty. I'm kind of curious to see what the third book will look like with the sprayed edges and stuff. If they do make it with sprayed edges. What books do I need to read by the end of the year? So I need to finish reading the Warrior Cats series. I need to read the second trilogy, like the second series. Like, I don't remember what it's called, but there's like a second series. Trying to find the exact series. Hey. What's up? Trying to figure it out because okay, so I do need to read the New Prophecy series. the Power 3 series. And Almond of the Stars series as well. And Dawn of the Clan series. So yeah, these are the ones I need to reread, read. And I also kind of want to find this specific comic thing that they did on Scrooge. Like, I really want to find that one because Scrooge is like my favorite cat. Maybe because he's crazy. I don't know. But I really, really like him. So, yeah, I want to find that one too and reread it. Because I read it in high school and I want to reread it. Also, I want to finish reading one series by Cadence Osmond. Or Candace. I think. I don't remember her name. Anyway, I can't remember exactly her name. It's Candace Osmond or... Wait, I can't find it. Yeah, Candace Osmond. And it's her... Dark Tides series. So this is the first book in the Dark Tides series by Candace Osmond. And this is like a time traveler series, like similar to Outlander. And it has 6 books in the series, and I really want to read them because they all look very short. So I definitely want to read those. I also need to start her other series. So her Kingdom of the Sand and Stars series. I don't know how many books there are in that one, but there's only 3. Okay, it's a trilogy. So I need to read those as well because they sound very interesting. And I also want to reread them since I can find them on my tablet. I can buy them digitally. I want to reread in entirety these books here. Roswell High by Melinda Metz. This is book 4. Yeah, book 4, The Watcher. It's the only one I own. I did read some of the books in high school, but not all of them because there's a lot. But yeah, I've read some of the books and I watched the show, so I loved them and I wanted to reread them. So yeah, these are all the books that I want to read this year and I want to finish. And I'm currently also trying to read most of the books on my shelves and try to like see what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep because I only have 4 shelves and they're getting kind of full. And also I do not put books in the bottom. Oops. Not really. So I do not. Sorry, to my hand. I don't put books here because the bunny has a tendency to chew in the books. Exhibit A. Like, come on. She is the culprit. I used to have another bunny. She didn't used to do that. But she is the culprit. She loves books. So, yeah, I can't put books on the bottom shelf. And that's why I don't put books on the bottom shelf, which I should because sometimes I need more space. But I did get rid of a few books, and maybe I should do a on-haul video or something. I do not do on-haul videos because I just shove them in the bag and just leave them there. But yeah, these were all the books that I read, and all the books on the book tag, mid-year book tag. So I will put her down so she can run around. because I'm going on vacation for a week, so I might not be able to post videos in a week, which I don't really post that much, but anyway. Should go on the floor. And yeah, see you next time. Just enjoy her biting my finger. Or licking it. I don't know.